The homework is on page 1931, and I'm going to go through 7 and 8 with you. A couple things that I want you to keep in mind. I want you to turn this in before class tomorrow. There will be the answer key available after 6th period today, so you can go through that. If you still have questions about anything, you can email me tonight. You can come in tomorrow before school. I know we have late start, but I'll be here, and I don't have a meeting tomorrow. So you've got some opportunities to ask questions before your test tomorrow. Here's what's going on in these problems and what's different than what we've done before. The manner in which we're going to solve these problems is the same as what we've been doing before. It's just that you're having to do more than one thing in these problems. Here's what this means, okay? When you see something like this that says solve triangle ABC, what that means is you find all the missing things. Okay, a couple things that I want to talk about. We do not need to find angle C. Okay,
it's 90.
It's 90 degrees. We can find that really easily. You're going to use this triangle over and over and over again. So what I would do, if it were me and I was doing my homework, I would take a picture of this triangle and put it in my photos, and I would use that picture for each of the problems. And then label what they give us first, and then that tells us what it is that I need to find. Okay? So for example, for number 7, they give us side C is 12, and they give us side B is 5. Okay? So I need to find everything else. When it says solve a triangle, so I need to find angle A, I need to find angle B, and I need to find side A. So I would actually write those down. Angle A, or sorry, side A, angle A, and angle B. I would write that down first, because now I've got my targets. I got what I'm looking for. Okay? And then once we have those, we can decide which ones we want to find first and how to do that. Okay? A couple other things I want you to keep in mind for these problems. It says round measures of sides to the nearest tenth. Sides are going to be rounded to the nearest tenth. Measures of angles are going to be to the nearest degree. Okay, which means the nearest integer. Okay? Now, I have options here. And which one of these you find first is really kind of up to you. We have trig functions that we can use, we have inverse trig functions that we can use, and we have Pythagorean theorem that we can use. Okay? So if I started at the top with side A, so I'm trying to find this side. I already have these two sides. That's all I have. How could I find side A? Pythagorean theorem. So that would be the square root of 12 squared minus 5 squared. And you'd plug that in. It's a side, so we round it to the nearest tenth. What is it?
13. It can't be 13.
Correct, it cannot be 13. It's got to be smaller than 12.
It's got to be under 12.
Okay, so what is it? Somebody plug it in and figure it out.
I don't know, dude. Yeah.
10.9. Okay, 10.9. It's a side, rounded to the nearest tenth. We don't know what the units are, so we have to label it units. It's a side. Okay? So I could, if I wanted to on my picture, put that there. You don't have to, though.
Yeah, that's kind of lame, though.
Okay? Now, so all I have left to do is find angle A or angle B. And when I do that,
what's the point of that?
well, solving A, B, and C means I gotta, triangle ABC means I gotta find all the things.
Ooh. Why don't we find angle C?
We already know angle C. We don't need to find angle C. Alright, so let's just go with, because it's up here, why not, let's find angle A. Okay? Now, whenever I'm finding an angle, in terms of trig functions, what do I know? What do I have to use?
Literally nothing.
The sides and the sides. Wait, the sides.
When I'm looking for an angle, I have to use the inverse trig function.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Now, I have 5 and I have 12. And I wouldn't use 10.9, and here's why. Let's say you make a mistake when you found side A. And you use the wrong answer for A, to find your next thing, which means you're going to find the wrong answer there. Obviously, we did this right, but I'm just guarding against the idea of if I made a mistake. Since they gave us 5 and 12, you're better off using the values that you're just given in the problem. Now, in relationship to angle A, what is side 5? It's adjacent to angle A. Okay.
Oh, you dingo.
Okay, what is this side? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse?
To what?
Okay.
Ah.
Now,
Your.
so I'm gonna write an equation. Okay. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write the equation cosine of angle A equals 5 over 12. Right? But in order to find angle A, I actually take the inverse cosine of 5 over 12. Okay? What does that give me? Nearest degree. 65 degrees. Okay? That is correct. Now, you could use another trig function or whatever to find B, but what do I know about angle A and angle B?
They both equal 90.
Total equals 90, which means what does angle B have to be if this is 65?
25.
Yep, correct, 25. Okay.
90 minus 65.
Oh, true.
Okay, so for angle B, I would not use another trig function, just subtract from 90, it's a lot easier, okay?
5 minus.
So that's how you do number 7, all 3 of the missing things. Now, yeah, so that's one problem. It gives us, so look at all the different practice it gives us. It gave us practice at Pythagorean theorem. It gave us practice at using inverse trig functions. And then the idea that 2 angles in a right triangle that are not the 90-degree angle are complementary, okay? So let's look at number 8 next, okay? Now in number 8, instead of giving us 2 sides, they give us an angle on the side. So here's what that kind of looked like, okay? So again, I've got, and let's just get rid of this, we did that one. Okay, in this problem, I'm going to go ahead and label the things again that I'm given. So I've got the same triangle, that's 10, and I have angle B here is 55 degrees. So right away, what angle can I find? Angle A, right? I'm looking for angle A, I'm looking for side B, and I'm looking for side C. Those are all the things I'm looking for now.
Can you just do 90 minus 65?
Absolutely. So what is angle A?
35 degrees.
Okay, so angle A is 35 degrees, easy.
Wait, do you hear the noise?
Now, let's say I'm going to find angle B, or sorry, side B next, okay? What I have to do then is take angle 55 degrees and this side here, and I can put all 3 of those together and try to write an equation. So, in relationship to angle 55, what is side B? Opposite. Okay, so this is the opposite side. What is this side 10 in relationship to 55? Adjacent. Which function are we talking about then? So, I write my equation. The tangent of 55 degrees equals B, which is the opposite, over 10. Okay, how am I going to solve for B now? Up high, multiply. So B equals 10 times tangent of 55. So what's that?
Or you just look at it like a normal algebraic equation and just know that you multiply it.
Okay,
B is equal to.
somebody plug that in and let us know what we get.
Yo, chill.
I got
14.3.
Yeah.
I get 17.
And again, this is a side, so it needs to be units. Now, so for side C, I have options. Okay, I have 2 legs, so I could use Pythagorean theorem to find side C. I could use cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, I could use sine, opposite over adjacent, or hypotenuse, excuse me. The one thing I would caution you against, again, same way that I did the other one, is if you mess this up and you use it, you're going to get the wrong thing for this. So if it was me, I would use the cosine because it would give me the side that I need. Okay, 10 over C. And now in a situation like that, I would have cosine of 55 degrees equals 10 over c. Okay, and since c's on the bottom, I'm going to have to divide. So this is 10 divided by cosine 55 equals c, which, anybody want to tell me what that is? 17.4
Units.
Oh, so it's a
units. Okay, so there are the first two. The rest of those in the section are just like that. Okay, so when you work through those problems, take it one piece at a time. Understand that you can use Pythagorean theorem, regular trig functions, inverse trig functions, the idea that the two angles that aren't 90 degrees are also complementary, and you'll get plenty of practice on that stuff. Okay?